school, there was this, oh my God, I was just talking about this. There was this one time these kids saw me and they were like, oh, they started singing Dude Looks Like a Lady as they were walking past me, and I took it as the biggest compliment ever. I was like, oh my God, you think I look like a girl?
I love that.
Thank you. And they were so mad that it didn't offend me, but I was like, oh my God, you're the best. That's the best.
That is the worst when you're insulting someone and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. That's what.
And they're genuine about it. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people do that just to not give a reaction, but I feel like that doesn't,
Yes.
like, you gotta mean it if
People
you're gonna
can
do
smell
that,
it if it's
you know?
fake or not.
Yeah.
they can smell
I've gotten that song too, and also people are referring to Buffalo Bill. That's not as nice.
No, it's not. But
No, it's
I
not a
mean,
compliment, love.
I mean, you have to consider the source when you're being hated on, and like, if you wouldn't switch places with them in life, why do you give a shit what they think about you?
You're
Yeah,
positive, radiant energy. I love it.
But you're never going to get
Anatomy.
rid of it. Like, you're never going to. So I try not to read it because I don't care what they. I'm not like, I'm afraid of being upset by it. I just don't care what they think. Like, who cares? Like, they're nobody to me. So what do I care what they think about anything?
Well, he's a trans ally, but I hope people look at you as that. But I feel like a lot of like, I don't know. I don't have one gay friend. Not one.
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Modi,
Well, yeah.
Mateo.
But not like gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't have any like, I don't have any twink
Right?
friends really. I mean, I make some in New York because in New York twinks are like different than they are, I feel like, everywhere else. Miami twinks are awful people.
Why?
They're evil.
Are they rude?
They're evil. They're so
Right?
rude. They're so nasty. They think very highly of themselves and very low of everybody else.
I feel like
including
some of
each
them
other.
hate trans
It
people.
was- they do hate trans people. There's like, people do not realize gay men and women can absolutely be transphobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. So I mean, whatever.
Miami twinks are rude.
Oh my God. I mean, twinks everywhere are rude, but Miami twinks in particular are like very
How are
rude.
bears and cubs? Are they nicer? Bears should probably be nicer because they're fat.
They don't really, I feel like bears and cubs rarely even interact with trans people. I feel like it's the twinks that interact with trans people and like the muscle gays.
Guys that reach out to you, do you get guys who reach out to you who you know are a different way publicly? I don't mean closeted or quiet, but I mean so many girls like saying that they've like fucked these politicians and people who then they find out are like making these decisions which are totally against who they
Oh,
are.
the people making the transphobic decisions are the most trans attracted men.
They are.
Like severely. And they have like, a lot of people are conditioned by very limiting religious beliefs or other belief systems that teach them to be either closeted or beyond closeted. I think there's another layer that's where they become anti whatever it is that
Right.
they actually identify
like an
with
obsession.
or yeah. And some of them I think aren't necessarily even trans attracted. A lot of them are. Some of them are trans and they are not free enough and do not have the support or the understanding to come out. I've even dated men who I believe at some point in their
I
life
was
will come
going
out
to
as
ask
trans.
you
I
that.
guarantee you they
Have
will.
you ever been sexual with a guy and you kind of
Knew.
that he might
Yeah.
only date you? Because I
Yeah.
could tell certain.
Hold on, let's clarify this.
No.
Now you don't mean me.
No, I don't mean you. But I've been with certain guys where I can tell they're inspecting how I
Yeah.
applied my makeup. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can
and then
tell
they start
by.
like mimicking
Yeah.
your gestures or
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And we'll get like the hardest boner if I ask, should I do your makeup?
Yeah.
Like, oh, trembling. It's like this hate-love thing that's just like this
Yeah.
excitement in the belly.
I've
I
been there.
love that. And you're the first trans person I've ever heard talk about that.
Yeah.
That some of these men who love
They
fucking...
want to be you, girl.
They want to be you. Except they enter you so they can try to get your soul,
Yeah.
literally, with their penis.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a great bumper sticker, though.
Yeah?
Nice.
But I guess that is. I don't relate
It's
to that
very
at all.
interesting to me, though.
Yeah.
That element of, yeah.
I'm like,
Ruined it. We have to wrap up. But I would say what ruined it is For You. When they have the For You section, because that's them making a decision on what you should see. You can switch it to following, but I think the default for a long time was For You or what they wanted you to see.
You mean like the algorithm?
Yeah, as opposed to just following people, it'll show you anybody who they think you ought to see.
yeah.
I like my algorithm.
Yeah, mine too. It's very very specific.
Well, is it like Lady Bulge?
It's all designed to keep you on for as long as possible.
And I'm telling you, it really
Is
works.
that the...
It's
works.
it's as bad as like gambling in a
Yeah.
casino and
It's
how
genius,
they designed
yeah.
everything. advertising. It's not. I don't think it's genius. I think it's evil genius.
Evil
but-
genius, yeah, but it's still brilliant.
But
whoever designed
mind
it.
you, I have used social media to make a living my entire adult life. So just take everything that I say with a grain of salt because I have contributed so much to that problem.
problem.
And we literally used to convince companies to put money into advertising and I've courted tens of millions of dollars in advertising money for these companies. So I kind of need to take my own advice a little bit.
Where
But
can people see? I want to promote your.
On the latest episode of his podcast, Sword Fight, I actually think the other name was probably funnier, My Wife's Nuts, but they went with Sword Fight. Jim Norton talked about the hate his transgendered wife gets, and he gets for having a transgendered wife. And, I just got to be honest, he deserves all of the hate. I mean, we just got to keep it real. I mean, I know Jimmy was telling us all what he was into the entire time he was on ONA. And like, this was always the thing, but I just gotta keep it real. Why the hell is he doing a show with his 20-something-year-old wife? She is so taking advantage of him that he's now doing a podcast with a wife who's half his age, maybe more than less than half his age. It's not really funny. Like, he just did a podcast with Voss and Colin. That was great. And now he's doing, because he has the wife and she's trans, so they got to talk to trans people. And he's talking to whatever this woman is. She looks like a horse. I want to pet her nose and feed her sugar cubes. What is that? What is he doing it so he can get off the tranny jokes? Like, I don't get it. It so just seems as though his wife is just completely taking advantage of him. Stop trying to make your wife a thing, Jimmy. We don't care. If she just did it on the side, like what Missy does, Kumia's girlfriend, Missy. Kumi is not doing shows with Missy. Now, I know that was a problem maybe back in the day, and I think a legitimate gripe that Opie brought up about one of Kumia's girlfriends, like they would do the O&A show, and Kumia would have his girlfriend there while doing the show, like pretty much sitting in the seat like she was fourth mic or something, and Opie was like, what? So, but Missy now doesn't do any of that. But Jim's trying to make this the Jim and my wife thing. She's not funny. She has no qualifications to do a podcast. Like I said, if she did her own thing on the side, but it's Jimmy trying to do it. So the hate on that if she's trans or something, I don't even think that's the majority of the hate. I mean, that's just a thing, an excuse, a reason for people to bring up, but it's the fact that you're putting her in front of us as if she's a funny, hilarious person, and she's not. It's just not happening. She's not funny. She's not interesting. So stop trying to make it a funny, interesting thing. Tell your wife or dude wife hey, you really want to be a woman? Get in the kitchen and start cooking. Like a vacuum or something. This ain't the Nikki show. Beat it, toots. So, Jimmy, that's the reason why he's getting the hate. I could care less, and I think most people couldn't care less that his wife is trans. But I don't like the whole we're trying to make my wife a thing and part of the world, this world thing. And start trashing more people. I don't know how many times, you're not going to come on to YouTube now that you got fired from Sirius and be like, hey, me and my wife are just going to do a not funny show and talk to this broad and not trash people. I'm Jim Norton. I don't pay attention. I'm above it all. well, then you're not going to last too long on this platform. I mean, he did Shuley show, and not one of the people got a trashing. Then Jim left halfway during it, and Shuley got down to business, started trashing whoever he was trashing, and the numbers immediately went up. That's how this works. I know you may not like that. You may think you're above it, but if you want to make it on here, that's what you got to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.